then you can see my screen. Am I right? Can you hear me?
Okay. Hi. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So the first part of the code is this part, which is we declaring variables. Again, in Python, we don't have any declaration. You see the average here, it's a real. So because we are dividing two numbers, so there is high possibility that we end up with a decimal point. Okay. And then we are initializing here. And then we do something here that I would like you to really understand. I want to make sure that you really understand here, because this is really emphasized in the syllabus a lot. So look at this code first, and I would like you to tell me why we are doing it here in the way we are doing it. So why we are asking from the user to input this code 2 times. Why we write this code 2 times?
Verification.
Okay, now, so do you see the while loop?
Yeah.
Okay, the while loop is testing a condition. What is the condition?
That the mark is more than or less than -1.
Okay, so if you are checking a mark for something and you did not define the mark before you start to test for it, this means that the code will not run. So if I do that, this exact same code in Python also, it will not work. We cannot test something same like when you see me writing pseudocode just now, and I start to write that line. Before I define sum, I forgot to define sum in the start. So when I do that before I define sum, then he cannot perform that operation. He tell me cannot, because sum is not defined to him. So the exact same thing here exists, because if you are testing a condition for mark not equal -1, but you never tell him what is mark. So you need to enter an initial mark first. Maybe if the user enter -1 here, then this whole condition will not run. But if the user, for example, for the first time he entered 10, then we will check it is -1. If it is 10, it's not -1. So we will start executing here. Okay, but the problem is, I want to know from you, shouldn't we start before we add the mark to the total? Because we don't have this plus equal in pseudocode, so we do it this way. So shouldn't we put this on top here instead of adding the mark first? Does it make sense that we add the mark first before we take an input from the user? What do you think? Is it confusing to you? Did you ever see this code before?
Actually, is this thing? Can you like? Is it the same as mark? Like, let's say you. Is it the same as initializing?
I mean, yes, you can say like that. Yes, yes. So input actually, it's like, yeah, it's kind of initializing. Yes. So it's taking input from the user. You never see input before, or you have seen it?
I've seen it, but like not used for initializing.
Okay, but input in this way, it's actually not used for initial. It's part of it, I would say. So yes, here they never initialize it. So they just declare it here like that, and then they initialize it by taking input from the user and putting it inside mark. So it's kind of initializing. Yes, it's kind of initializing like that, because there is no point that I put mark here equals 0. So I just take an input from the user, I put it inside mark, one shot. Yes. Is
Oh,
it still
okay.
confusing?
No, I'm not
Really?
confused.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
I think I get it. This one
Okay.
you put this in at the back, Because this is your initial mark. Like this is like a real mark that you want to add in.
Okay.
So if you put this one first, then you overwrite your old mark, and then
Excellent. Excellent.
you lose this mark. So your like
Excellent.
whatever you get out is wrong.
Okay, yes, you are correct. And not only this, not only this. So there is another reason, but you nailed the best. I mean, the smartest way. What you said is actually correct. And yes, this is number one. Number two is that imagine to me that you already give a mark, let's say 100, and we already passed this condition. This condition already true because it's not equal -1, and then we add it already, and then the user enter 100, and then 10, and then 20, and then -1. So now imagine that the user enter -1, and
Oh, it
then you,
adds in -1.
yes, so it means that it disturb your total. So that's why he takes the input here first, and then he do
And
the
then
check
it goes
here.
back into the check. Yeah,
So
okay.
if the check is -1, he will never execute that two lines anymore. So it means that our total and count is still preserved, and we don't add to them, or we don't disturb them with the -1. So this means that the average that will comes here will actually work for us. It will be an accurate average. Did I make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. We can move to the next. So, okay. Let me delay that. That will take some time from us. Um, although, if I just let me just show you the code that actually solves this problem. The trick exactly also in the exam. The code, if you look at the answers of previous exam questions, actually the written code is not difficult. The trick is to understand only what you need to do so that you can write the code. This is the answer. Do you see anything so complicated in this kind of, this is a loop, and you are adding and you are doing assignment. It's just the trick of understanding what you need to actually do. But I will not waste much time. I would like to go to more questions, and then once I have a chance, I will talk to you about that answer. So this answer also in pseudocode looks like that, just a typical for loop that we are using with some additions and some assignment, and then output. It's quite simple. Of course, the pseudocode have this declaration which adds more to the code. Other than that, it should be exactly similar to the Python in this case. So
Okay.
we move. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, do you still remember? So that was part actually of exam questions, previous exam questions in past years. So are you able to tell me so that you try to make the recall, and it give me a sense of what I need to emphasize on when I give you more exam questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Media access control.
okay. And what is hexadecimal?
Hexadecimal is a base 16 uh way of writing.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. And can you explain that what is the hexadecimal code that is used in the MAC address? What it represents?
There's two parts in the MAC address. One is the manufacturer's code, and then another one is the device's unique serial number.
Okay. So if you want to ace the answer in your exam, you this is the answer. Okay. We need to talk about three things. Okay. We need to tell that this is a hardware physical address. So, and this is a unique address associated with, for example, a network card. Do you know what is meaning a network card?
Is it the same as NIC?
Yes, exactly. It's actually a network card is the short for of it is NIC. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you need to say like what you said just now that it is 48 or 64 bits or even two groups of digits of hexadecimal digits, and then like what you said now. So manufacturing code, and the other part is a serial number of device. Yes. So, but again, so not to lose marks, you have to really write three of those. Okay,
Okay.
clear, good. And what about this?
Hyper. No. HTML. Something machine language?
No, it is not. It is it's a hypertext language that is actually used to build web pages. Did you? I think you are surfing the internet, right? You are able to surf the internet, right? So
Yeah.
you go to YouTube, you go to Facebook and other websites. So most of them, I would say, 90% of them is written in HTML. So everything that you see on the screen is actually because it's organized using the HTML code, the hypertext language. Okay, so it's
Okay.
a hypertext marking up language. So the HTML contain two parts, structure part and presentation part. Are you able to describe these two terms?
No.
Okay. So, okay, structuring is responsible for the layout of the page, of the web page. You see a web page, you see where the image is located or where the video is located. So the one control that is a part of HTML tags that make the structure or the layout possible. So the structure is responsible for the layout of the page, and presentation is responsible for actually formatting the content. So there is a text sometimes that you see in a web page. Typically, under every video in the YouTube, you see a text. Some of the text can be colored. Some have a big font, some have a small font. You see the title in a bigger font. Sometimes maybe you can see them in a red or blue color sometimes. So the one responsible for that is the representation part of the HTML. Okay, I will show you.
How about like let's say in this entire website,
Mhm,
like like let's say this.
mhm.
This is this considered a structure or presentation? Like just this bar.
So this
Like
bar,
not including
okay,
these buttons, just this bar.
this bar in this position is part of the layout, so it's considered a structure. Okay, if you're talking about the size, so if you're talking about the size of the font that is used here, so and the color of the text, so that is part of the presentation.
Location of the text is also structure.
Yes.
So if the background was like here, was the button here, that's structure.
Yes. Yes.
But the styles in which you can write
Styles
background, like
and color and background is a presentation.
okay.
Okay, good. So now explain to me if you can know the function of a web browser.
Um, allow users to access information related to a certain topic.
Okay. Okay, this is the generic answer. Okay, what else? So
Um,
some of the functions that you are able to, there is more features of the browser. So there is a technical part. I guess that you are missing the technical part. I will explain that. But you are able to also answer from the functional part. Functional part, you are able to save history, right? You are able to memorize or to save the URLs that you served, right? You can bookmark them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a function of a web browser. So if you cannot remember the technical functionality, then you can start to mention the function of the web browser, and it will still be counted as answer. Of course, if you write 2 or 3 of them, then maybe then you will get the full mark. So now let me share with you. That is how the structure of the HTML page looks like. So we decide the title of the page, we decide the body, what is written in the body. So this is part of the structure. We tell
Oh, I used
what
to
to
do this,
appear where.
like very simple ones. I used
Okay,
to
that's good.
just do it for fun.
Okay, so if you ever remember that you've done something like the tags for the paragraph here, or even the tag for the image, so this is a presentation because we are controlling the size of the thing, and even which one is the text and what is the heights and widths. And possibly we are able to even control for this paragraph. This is responsible for a paragraph. You put anything in between this opening tag and closing tag, this will be a paragraph. We are able to style that here and put maybe the color of the font that you want this text to appear with. So the one who really translates all the tags, you never see these tags in the browser. Only if you right click, and if I right click here, oops, yeah, maybe he will not, no, he will not accept it from me here in this kind
F11?
of page. So view page source, if I view page source, then I will be able to see the HTML source of this page. So the source is actually not shown to us. So you never see the tags here in this page. But if you view the page source, then you will see the real tags. And then maybe if you would like to emulate something similar, you copy some of them and then you put it in another page, then you will get the same effect. Okay, but of course, some of the menu things and the actions and the functionality is not only done in HTML. HTML is only for the layout and for how things looks like. But for the real functionality, that functions that is done or moving path, then another language need to be actually used. So HTML is only for like static text, showing static text. Okay, am I
HTML,
clear?
can you insert links?
Yes, definitely. Of course, you can insert links. Yes, of
Oh,
course.
okay. Okay.
So yeah, and images and links you are able to insert, and even they have a way to recognize if you ever clicked on a link, then they would change the color. So also part of changing the colors and the presentation part of the HTML, that you can say, I want my links to be blue, and I want the visited links to actually maybe look like a darker blue a bit, so the user can really recognize if he ever visited a link inside the page before. Now, I want you to look here. So HTML is a hyper markup language, and we use that to develop and author web pages. And it is translated by browser to display the web page. So the browser takes the codes for the HTML and translate it and then display something to the user, which is not the tags of the HTML. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so the structure part, as we said, is how the layout of the content is displayed. And the presentation part is how the content is actually formatted, the color, style, and there is something also called CSS. Did you ever hear about CSS before?
Once before.
So did you use it?
I think I used it only once also, quite a long time ago. I don't really remember.
So did you ever remember there is a text called H1 like that?
Heading. Is it heading?
Yes, it's header 1, and then there is header 2, and there is header 3. So all this actually, this is headers that have the biggest size comes with header 1, the smallest one header 2, sorry, the smallest one is header 3, and then the medium one is header 2. So if you want to control the colors of all the headers, if you have maybe 10 headers in your page, if you would like to control the color, it's better to use a CSS file, because if you use a CSS file, you can tell header 3, and then you open brackets in the CSS file and you tell the color is like what. But if you would like to do them manually inside that HTML itself, then you have to go to every tag that carry H3 like that, and then you write the
And
color
change
is
it.
what. Yes.
Oh,
So
I see.
so CSS somehow make it save the time for you. Okay. So it can
Yeah.
control the behavior, or can make you change the behavior of the whole web pages, maybe 10 or 20 web pages, just by a single change. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the web browser functionality is, as you can see, he need you to write 3 of those: display a web page, translate the HTML document, and translate the embedded scripting. So there is something called also JavaScript that can be part of the HTML. JavaScript is responsible for any action, like what the menu do, and if there is any movement on the screen, or any movement of the text, the one responsible for that is a JavaScript. So JavaScript is typically embedded inside the HTML, and the one who is able to understand it and execute it is a browser. Okay. And then, like I tell you, there is functionality that is related to the browser, which is bookmarks and history. Okay. So any 3 of those will make you score the full mark. But now let me ask you, do you know what is the meaning protocol?
Set of internet rules for data transmission.
Okay, perfect. And what about SSL and HTTPS?
HTTPS is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure.
Yes.
SSL is I forgot what SSL is.
Okay. So SSL is part of the encryption that need to be done, because, okay, if we are using our credit card on a website to buy a product, Lazada or Shopee or whatsoever, so we want the website to, or the web browser to actually, everything we enter in the web browser, we want it to be encrypted. So typically, this is, for example, the servers of Shopee. Okay. And this is the browser. So you, as a user, you key in, you put here maybe your credit card, okay, details. So you enter it here. Before the browser actually send the details to Shopee to complete the transaction, we need to use protocols like SSL. So that encrypts all the data communicated from your browser to Shopee and also back to you. So we use encryption because hackers in the middle can actually try to steal your credit card information. Okay, so this is a kind of attack that's called man in the middle. So they intercept communication, and then they try to steal the information, your credit card information, or your even personal information. Sometimes using their personal information, they can use it later in a social engineering kind of hacking to be able to get more details about you, or even get your credit card details by calling you and telling you, oh, this is your name, you already purchased that item on Shopee, but okay, then we are facing problem with delivering your item. You need that your maybe payment information was not keying in successfully. We would like you to give us so on and so on. So this is, I think, popular in Malaysia, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Receiving calls from scammers, and then that is very common, and we always see warning from government about it. So okay, now what about this? Are you able to read that and tell me what is the term?
This one bit half duplex serial transmission. Yeah, half
Okay,
duplex serial transmission.
okay.
The second one is ISP.
ISP, this one.
Wait, sorry, not ISP. Uh, IP address.
Perfect, excellent answer. Okay,
The surface. This isn't. Is it just web browser?
yes, exactly. Yes, okay, that's good. That this means that you already understood. Okay, that's clear. Okay, this is a browser. Yes.
Okay.
And this,
MAC address.
excellent. So the problem here that I want you to let me know why you said half duplex.
Because it can only send data one at a time. Sorry,
Perfect.
down wait,
One bit at a time.
one bit at a time.
So
Oh, that means
so
it could be full duplex or serial transmission.
so it is a serial transmission. Yes, but don't talk about simplex or half duplex. Just a serial transmission. Only serial transmission. I will share with you more details. So if you're talking about duplex, so give me an example of simplex first.
Uh, Simplex. Mouse to computer.
Yes, and keyboard to computer. So this is two examples of so the data flows only in one direction and there is no reverse direction. So you cannot send data to the keyboard. You only take data from the keyboard. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you see how the duplex work?
Yeah.
So they can send and receive at the same time, sometimes using the same wire, sometimes using two different wires. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, half duplex, they can
It's the same
either
wire.
send or receive.
Full duplex can send and receive at the same
The
time
same
on two
time.
different wires.
Yes, or even sometimes the same wire. Okay,
Okay.
now have a look at here, please, and tell me if you see, this is the most important thing to me. This is here. This is an example of a full duplex, and this is an example of a half duplex.
Oh, okay.
Full duplex is a telephone conversation. Half duplex is like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And
Yeah.
so, like I said, this is the official answer, and then you should say serial, not half duplex or even simplex, also not accepted as an answer. And
Okay.
we have questions also that talk about that, but now let us go one by one. Have a look here, please, and tell me from those, choose how you can fill in these spaces.
URL breaks it up into web server name,
Okay, perfect.
protocol,
Okay,
and file name.
excellent, excellent. Yeah, okay, that's good. So I think you already know that, and this is the answer, and your answer is actually correct. So what about this?
The web browser reads the
You select from here.
Uh, oh, okay. Reads the web server name from this. Wait, sorry.
Sorry, we
Returns
have
the
to
selected web.
close. It's already 30 minutes. We close and open
Oh,
again,
okay.
please.
Okay.